Hello, hello, it's LT, of course, of Bands and Clubs of the Triangle. Love local music with us, certainly my love for local music. And also have Dana, I have about 12 pages. So I just have an interest, I guess, in lots of things. But one of the pages, TL's in the background, LTTL Sharing Life Stories. So I've got a great places to maybe think about this. And I did a post a couple days ago on my personal page. Gosh, people were quick. Hold on, Dana. Hold on. Phone's ringing. Yes, Tim. Yeah, I know. I know. I texted you. I finally got her phone number after 40 years. Let's just claim it for. No, not. Don't be specific. Dana. Yes. Dana Pete. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, hey, listen. I'm on Zoom right now. Can I call you back? Okay. So it takes years sometimes to accomplish, but I'm with Dana, a friend, a fellow Meadowbrook Monarch today, tonight. And gosh, we have a background because we both grew up in Chesterfield County. Right, Dana? Did I say anything wrong yet?
Not yet. You're good.
Meadowbrook High School. Gosh, as big a fan I am over here through the years, but did we go to middle school together? Certainly Falling Creek Middle.
I went to Fallen Creek. So we
Okay.
did. Yep.
Okay. And so yes, our middle school years, our high school years, Dana very involved. Let me first honor your mother. Certainly Dana, but I honor your mother just that your mother was involved in making her child successful. And just showing a lot of love and you showing love towards your mom. But I certainly have some fond memories of some of those parents that were involved, and your mom was right there. As I think about where are we going to go to help build that homecoming float? Where are we going to go to help build that homecoming float? And it might have been Vincent Wallen's house or wherever it was, but whether it was picking up or being there to help us, your mom was around at times, and just like some other parents. But I honor her, and I know your relationship with her is strong, and all the love and admiration to your mom. All right, but how about this real quickly? Burger Chef. Do you remember Burger Chef?
Burger
Meadowbrook
Chef.
Plaza. Meadowbrook Plaza.
Is that a burger chef? I
Yeah,
don't, I don't remember it being a burger chef, but there was something there that served burgers. But yes, I do remember it.
okay. Do your pizza in?
I remember that. Yeah, that
Okay.
was every night after football.
And there was it Mayberry's ice cream that goes
There was
way
an
back,
ice
right?
cream place and a drugstore.
Yes, yes,
Drug
yes.
fair, I think it was
And
called.
and then when we
A&P.
okay, right, I was going there, A&P. But yes, Burger Chef was a forerunner years before Fuddruckers, right? Where Burger Chef, you could actually put your own toppings on. You went to a bar and you could put your own toppings on the burger. And I'm thinking Burger Chef, but I can stand to be corrected. But yes, that's my memories.
You could be right, but I don't remember being. I'm gonna have to look it up, Lawrence. I'm
Okay, I
not
appreciate it.
sure.
Look up the history. Well, we are here, and gosh, I think it's a PBS segment, and just some great things in our community. Of course, we're talking back to Richmond, Virginia, Chesterfield County. I'm in Durham. You spent time in the Triangle. You raised your children in the Triangle, right, Dana?
I'm raised them in Virginia, actually, most of
Okay.
the time, and my daughter went to Middle Creek in Apex, her last 4 years, but Michael had already graduated, so they both moved back and lived with us, near us,
Yes,
came
yes.
back and lived with us.
So
They
that
left the nest, came back to the nest, and
So
yeah,
that puts our roots together, not only in Virginia, but also North Carolina as a graduate right out of Virginia Tech, me. And again, for John, wanted to make sure we get something in here for your
gotta get
hubby.
those Hokies in. That's right. I went to tech. I went to tech too, Lawrence.
Okay, let's get it straight. Yeah, yeah. What was your major?
Elementary ed.
Okay, marketing education. So yes,
Mhm.
then right out of college, I went to North Carolina and haven't left. that is Edenton, North Carolina, towards the coast, a small town.
Beautiful.
But
Beautiful.
we brought our roots back together to the Triangle and Facebook and social media. But somehow it became in this the path or the story path that while in the Triangle, you were neighbors to one of our rock stars in the Triangle music scene. Been around 20 plus years. Him piping out some great music and great tunes. I'm speaking of Ross Miller of Crush. And
And I didn't even know he sang until you, really. But yeah, who knew I had
that
a famous neighbor?
that might now once you know he might once in a while brag on it, but that seems a little surprising. But yeah, a little bit too yeah reserved or whatever. But no, great band, awesome band, Crush. And well, you didn't know you hadn't seen them. Did you ever see the band?
I did actually. We went to Fuquay for I don't remember, some sort of night out or something. And there was Ross up on the stage. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then he started singing. And I was shocked. I'm like, Ross sings? I had no idea. So, yep,
Funny. Things you don't know and how you learn, right?
that's
But
right.
yes. So that was a link for us, or just starting some conversation. Social media does it, but just a little bit alongside the path of your family as adults and so forth, and some transition. The same for me. And but here goes. Black labs have been an important part of your life, your children's life, the family story. And we're talking Black Labs, of course, the story of Ripken and Champ. And let's start there. Much of that wraps around the family, but it wraps around your son, Michael. And I think you just reminded me, but yeah, one son, both adults, but Michael and a daughter, right?
Michael and Megan. Yep.
Okay, Michael and Megan. And the labs are just in the family story early on. I think y'all had a family lab. Uh,
We did. Rags. We had Rags. Michael was Michael's dog, really. Um, Megan had her dog. Michael had his dog, and Rags was the lab. And when Rags, it was a thunderstorm one night, and Rags got out. He was deathly afraid of thunderstorms, and he got hit by a car. We lost Rags that night, and he died in Michael's arms. It was a tragically but sweet way to end what was such a great love between a bond between the two of them.
right.
But my kids made me swear, no more labs.
Yeah,
Never again.
you telling
Never
me.
again. No more labs, Mom. I had one great one, no more labs. So Mom has not had any more labs. My children are on their third, fourth lab. Michael
Four,
has had
four.
three, and Megan has one, and Mom has not had any. So, except for grandpups.
Right. And here goes Michael, your son, in his love for baseball,
Hmm.
starting with T-ball, right? Very young.
Very young, 4.
And that accelerated from T-ball to middle school,
To
high
high
school,
school,
and it
to college,
continued.
right?
Yeah.
Played in Radford. And
Right. And how did it become even a larger lab story from there?
so Michael graduated from school, and him and Melissa got married, and they adopted a rescue Taylor, who eventually became our dog the last 6 years, and we just put Taylor down on Monday. Um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, it was very just not the great week that we
Yeah.
had hoped for,
Yes.
but yeah, so Taylor was afraid of children. So bit my niece, and I looked at my son and I said, "You gotta get that dog some training." So we went to a St. Patrick's Day parade, and there was a van that went by that offered training, and I said, "You better get that guy's number because
Right.
that dog needs training." And he did. He actually worked for him later on. Michael started his own business. Um, and he adopted this sweet little puppy out of Iowa. It was a puppy of Cowboy Cole from Boise State. And Ripken was much like him. He was just the sweetest, kindest, most lovable family dog. But then he was able to turn all that on and really excel on the baseball field. So Michael decided it was really good idea on his part that he would take him out there and do what Cowboy Cole did, but on the
Right,
baseball field.
right.
So he went and he would retrieve bats he started at Holly Springs Salamanders because it was COVID and nobody really wanted them on the field and players weren't
Right.
playing. And so it was during those times, and if the dog touched the bat, would they all get COVID? Would the dog bring it back? The Bulls were kind of afraid of that. Eventually, they did let them, after he did such a great job at the Holly Springs Salamanders, they took him out to Durham and the Bulls took him on, and boy, was he a fan favorite. I mean, people loved Ripken. Ripken was the heart of that baseball game. There's 3 innings. He only would fetch for 3 innings because it's hot out there,
Okay, right, right,
but
right.
they loved him. Like it was part of their world and part of our world. And we'd leave that stadium and take 2, 3 hours to get back to the car. They wanted an autograph. And we eventually would say, that's my son's autograph, or my daughter-in-law, that's my husband's autograph. But
Right, because he was signing, yes,
right. But it didn't
Ripken.
matter. It was Ripken. Ripken had his own merchandise. I think you can still buy some of Ripken's merchandise. And Ripken has his own baseball trading card.
Awesome,
So he was
awesome.
when we
Well,
lost
this,
Ripken unexpectedly at 8, that was January. It was tragic. It was awful for our family. I don't think I have cried that much in my life. Like that was not the ending that we had hoped for.
right.
And Champ was a puppy at the time, or 2 years old, or not quite two, and weren't sure Champ was ready to take on the shoes of Ripken, but that was going to be his job when Rippy retired. But Ripken didn't get that opportunity to retire, and it was a
But so Dana, this was such a lab story, but I think on the PBS or the segment, I mean, Michael fell in love with the dogs, but he was it was interest to keep. Michael had dreams of a big, maybe a professional career, but here was an opportunity not only through the labs, but an opportunity to stay in the baseball arena of sorts. And so I assume that was a big part of Michael's interest and just his love for baseball and other sports, because again, it became a multifaceted, and you're describing some of that right now because it was not only baseball.
it was a lot more, and his dream was to get Rippy to the pros, Tampa Bay, because the Bulls are a farm team of Tampa Bay. Uh,
Okay.
didn't quite make that one, but Champ did. Champ went recently, so he didn't get to really retrieve bats, but he did a little honorary thing out on the field, so it was very cool. So we hope to get Ripken back, or Champy back out there. But that was always Michael's dream, was to be on the baseball field playing for the pros. And maybe
Yes.
playing, but he's still on the field and he gets to meet everybody, He gets to be in the dugout with them. He gets to experience just like he is playing.
Yes, yes,
Pretty cool for him. And it's
yes.
really a great opportunity that the Bulls have allowed him to do this. So
Now, it's so new or somewhat new, and giving examples even across the country, maybe, but is this prevalent or down in Tampa? Do they are they using a lab, other retrievers and dogs, or is it still well, it's great to hear. I don't care how many stories there are. It's such an interesting thing, but how's it taken off across or some other dogs
there
involved?
are there are I don't know how many there
Right.
are other dogs. I think the Nationals just had Bruce, the bat dog, up from Rochester.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
very cool. Um, that was, what Michael wants to do. So hopefully he's going to be able to do that too. I'm not sure Bruce actually retrieved backs. I think he did an honorary thing too as well. Michael was hoping he did a lot of marketing, hoping to do the All-Star game like Bruce against Champ and have them both on the All-Star field.
Right, right,
Didn't happen this year, but maybe there's always next year.
right.
Maybe if the Major League Baseball team is listening, they can make that happen next year. But still a dream, still a opportunity that's out there, and Michael will pursue that with all his heart. Like
Yeah.
he will,
Well,
he'll
tell
whatever
me the
he's.
good part of the story as being fellow Hokies and John too, and just avid fans that y'all are, and me too, but y'all much bigger. But tell me, you had a football opportunity. It wasn't necessarily hokey related, but I think you were told something by your son.
Yeah, so one of them was, but yeah, so Rippy was the T retriever for NC State, and you talk about the fans. Like, boy, when you're in that stadium and Ripken would go get that T, it was nothing. I mean, you've heard when they get a touchdown, all the cheers. When Rippy went out there, it was twice
Bigger,
that. It
bigger,
was
bigger,
way
twice
bigger.
that, twice that.
Yeah, way bigger. So we did play Tech one time at NC State. It was a home game at NC State. And Michael said, told us to come up. He had a surprise for us. No hokey gear. No hokey gear. What is wrong with you? Your father is not going to step on that. He's not going to be in that stadium without hokey gear on you. Out of your mind, that's not going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Nope, no hokey gear, no hokey gear. Well, we actually got to go down on the field. So we couldn't have any hokey gear on because we were guests of NC State, which was big thank you to NC State for doing that and for allowing John and I to be down there and to watch Ripken do his thing, right on the field. So it was a pretty
Yes.
cool opportunity. But John may have had some socks on or underwear on that said Virginia Tech. Nothing that you could see, but couldn't go without that.
And gosh, Michael and the involvement with the labs, his business as a trainer has continued to grow, and not only in the Triangle, but what you said in Charlotte, is that?
Charlotte.
Mhm.
Yep. So he started in Apex. It's called All Star Dog Training.
Okay.
It's a great, and it's all based around Ripken. If you've seen the logos, or it's Rippy.
Yes,
His
yes,
face is
yes.
on the logo. We still honor him in a lot of ways, but that's one of them. If you go into the facility, it's top notch, and there are Ripken pictures everywhere. So pretty cool. And then he went out to Charlotte and opened another facility. A little bit of a slow start, but it has gained momentum and it's great. He's had a girlfriend that used to live in Raleigh close to us, and I haven't seen her in several years, but she just had a dog pass and she got a new puppy, a rescue, and he starts training next week at Michael's facility in Charlotte. So, it's pretty cool how much he's grown, and he's done a great job of him and his wife. His wife is a marketing major from Rhode Island, and she's been the master behind the whole marketing plan for them and done a great
Right.
job with that. So,
And that's a team or staff in Charlotte or Michael, but they would travel back in
mhm.
here and there
Yep. Yep, they go
across.
back and forth. Michael goes back and forth every once in a while, but he has a team there. He depends on. He trained them here in Raleigh and um, sent her out there to take over and run the location there for him, and she's done a great job. So really proud of what they've been able to do. And they're
Right.
young, young entrepreneurs. Can't ask for more than that.
Yes. So, Dana, when you're traveling or the grandkids to and from the Triangle and so forth, um, well, actually, it's probably some things with the grandkids. But when you were last in your car, what kind of music do you enjoy?
Okay, you really want to know this? I am a country girl.
Country girl?
I'm a country fan, but my favorite is Kenny Chesney. And John will tell you, we leave here and turn on the Alexa for the dog so they can hear. She's going to say something. I'm sure she just heard me. Um, they have to listen to Kenny when we're on the boat all day. So all day long they listen to Kenny Chesney. But I love other country. But really, truly, that's my jam right there. I love country music. So.
You know, some traditional, but more so the hot country
I
or
like
a,
traditional country too.
some
Yeah.
blend.
Yeah, oh, I love it. Yeah, I like the twang and the George Straits and the Loretta Lynn's. I love it all. But as we've grown into the new modern country, um, some of it kind of pop for me. I'm not a huge fan, but most of it I still really appreciate and love.
Right. Dana, I have a lot of listen time at work some most days. I listened to about 2 hours of Bonnie Raitt today,
Oh, I
and
love Bonnie Raitt. We
I,
love Bonnie Raitt. John
I,
loves Bonnie Raitt. Yep.
I think my scope of enjoying music is very wide range, but so different day, different thing that I might listen to. But just getting into some Bonnie Raitt again, and but yeah, some live concert footage and so forth. Now, growing up in Richmond. It wasn't me necessarily a lot, but I think of the concerts and so forth. You did some concerts as a teenager, didn't you? Certainly Richmond Coliseum, I guess I'm thinking about. Do you recall?
My first one was Led Zeppelin.
Oh,
I was probably like, I don't know, maybe 13. And I remember coming out of there thinking, why did my mother let me go see that concert? Like, what was she thinking? But that was my first one. And I don't know, maybe I questioned that and said, why'd you let me go? And she didn't let me go to anymore. So I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that with her. But I didn't go to too many after that. My mom wouldn't let me go very many places. I mean, I was busy. I was busy all the time.
no, certainly,
Um,
certainly. But I remember that crowd or in the high school years of the concert going and so forth. And for some in our class, it was a religious part that some of
yeah,
my classmates seemed like they were going all the time. I didn't get to go or go.
I didn't go to very many either, but I do
Mm,
remember going to Led Zeppelin,
right,
but that was
right,
about it.
right. Now, I want to share with my audience, or just going back through memory lane, me and my high school years, I was really a big fan of a trio, our good friends, but God, for some reason they all ended up being female. But I was a big fan. In fact, I've talked to one of them not too long ago, and I guess on Facebook here and there, but it was Dana, Marianne, and
Marianne
Leslie. And
and
Leslie,
Leslie. Yeah.
quite a trio. And I think in your main core group, or well, some of that was certainly cheerleading.
Hmm.
But yes, I've had the opportunity through Facebook, and we've talked about the good and bad of Facebook, but the opportunity to say hi and reacquaintance to a couple of people. But yeah, I think I just saw something about Leslie and Lloyd, and then Mary Ann. I think she is it Tennessee or
She's in Alabama,
Alabama?
actually.
That's right. That's right.
I think
Good
she's in Alabama.
Alabama. But see her and her beautiful daughter and son at times, and her love for flowers. I see the most beautiful
Oh, she does a
flowers.
beautiful job, doesn't she? I
I
know.
know. I wish I could turn this towards our flowers. We do a pretty good job, Dana. We do a pretty good job. Um, but yes, and that had parallels, and you knew it because in high school, early on, probably 12, 13 years old, I got involved with radio and hanging out at some Richmond radio stations, and then was on the air doing some programming or running some shows, the board for probably when I was 16 years old. WGOE Go 16, oldie station, beach music station. And then my love for that took me to Virginia Tech and, of course, the education degree. But I worked in student radio and enjoyed that and worked at K92 for about a year part time. And but yeah, it was a parallel to reading and learning of your family and Michael's story with baseball because at some point I realized that no, very early on I realized I wasn't a Rick Dees or I wasn't a Casey Kasem, and but I wanted to keep my hand still in it because I enjoyed it so much, and I really continued to do that for the next 30 years, part time, but here and there breakaways. But really, I founded bands and clubs of the Triangle, and now it's Triangle, Eastern North Carolina, Charlotte, and Triad and about 25,000 followers. And we pretty much tell people where to go to hear live local music today, tomorrow, or this weekend. But it really became my little radio station and not got away from some of the technology, but just the opportunity, very competitive. But yeah, I found some parallels in the story of Michael continuing or holding on to a baseball.
Hold on to that passion.
Yeah,
Always.
yes, yes, yes. Following our passions and enjoying it. Did you teach for years, or where did you end up?
No, I once John and I married. I had Michael almost pretty much right away, and was one of those moms that said nobody else can raise my kids, so
Yeah.
I had to raise my kids, and
Yes.
I did. I stayed home as a stay-at-home mom. Um, I did daycare in my house, make ends meet, but I wanted to be there for my kids. And once I got older, I did go to Grace Miller Elementary in Bealton, Virginia, in the library, and I helped out there. But
Okay.
anything that was, you know, full time but I just, my kids got, as a mom, I realized later I should have stayed home with my kids when they were in high school because that's when they tend to get in trouble a little bit and they need you a little bit more. So, but they're busy too and they needed rides here and there. So I needed to be home then. So I was fortunate enough to be able to do that,
Yes, yes,
be home with my
yes.
kids, and I I wouldn't change that for the world ever.
You
I gave up
modeled,
a lot for myself, but I don't feel like I lost anything.
and even your mom and me honoring her, she did some of that, right? Certainly.
Yep, she did. She did work for the government for a while, but then she retired disability. So she was able to be home with me. And she actually lived with us the last 12 years of her life. So she,
Yes.
Raleigh. So
Yes,
it was
yes, yes.
good to
All
have
right.
her
Well, I
with.
think we're trying to wind up on the clock and look at that. But I think, gosh, just that post the other day, maybe they already connected, but what was it our youth minister and then minister, but it was a connection through that post. Did Keith Stannard marry y'all? You
He
and
did. So Mr. Standard was my youth minister. He baptized me. I really incredibly special to me. Like it really, he built my faith, I guess I would say. My parents didn't go to Beulah, I did. And I was a part of the youth group with him and he baptized me. And then when John and I got married, John was Catholic. But I wanted to be married in my parents' church where they were married. So we were married in a Baptist church with the Baptist minister, the preacher, and a Monsignor, Catholic
okay, right?
Monsignor, and Mr. Stannard, my, Beulah Methodist. He was there for us and married us. And John was, when he read that, he was shocked that he really did remember. I said, because he was special. Like he was special to me. And I think I was pretty special to him too. But he was a big part of my youth and a
Well,
lot of things
couple
because
of
of him,
people
I
off
think
that
really.
post just were fast on it, just drawing connections, and the standards were right there. And again, they split time, I think, Pennsylvania and Florida. And I think their son Kent, I think they were in Florida, but they were all together. So it sparked. And yeah, how can we try to say hi to Dana? How can we try
Yeah.
to? And then I got it because I didn't remember that. Yeah, Keith married Dana and John. Well, he didn't quite say it, say three, three
Yeah,
people.
but
You
he remembered all of it. But he did. He
you
married.
you
Anyway, he
involved a
did.
lot, yes, but that makes sense. I understand that. Hey, Dana, this has been a pleasure. I appreciate it, and we'll share this to a number. I think we tried to get. Gosh, we talked about burger chefs, so that get in. I run a food page in North Carolina, NC Good Eats. So I think your memory needed to be stirred, whether it was Burger Chef or not, and maybe that's wrong. We need to search Google.
I'm gonna look it
I know,
up.
but yeah, run a food page so we can sprinkle this a couple of different places. But this has been fun. It's always nice to catch up with former classmates and going back to high school. And but yes, I appreciate that. And thanks for spending the time with me. And beautiful as always. And have enjoyed your walk in life. And yes, and
But yours as well.
down there
So
at Wilmington, I think of Bowstring. We have a Bowstring for great music in Raleigh. I think they have one in Wilmington too. Have you been yet?
I haven't, but
All
I'll
right,
look that up too.
that'll be your homework. That'll be your
Yeah,
homework.
I'll look that up too. But whenever you're down here, just look us up.
Hey, look forward to it. Hey, listen, talk to you later and take care. Let's get it in towards the weekend.
Okay, sounds good.
Right, thank you.